Okay, students, in our last video, we have discussed about fuel, and fuel can be classified on the basis of physical states that are liquid, gas, solid, and solid. These can be classified. These fuel can be classified into solid fuels, liquid fuels, gaseous fuels, renewable fuels, and non-renewable fuels. We will discuss one by one heading today. Classification of fuels. Fuel can be classified on the basis of their physical states as solid, liquid, and gas. On this basis, fuel can be of the following type. We have already discussed that there are five categories of fuel in which we can classify, that are solid fuels, liquid fuels, gaseous fuels, renewable fuels, and non-renewable fuels. First heading is solid fuels. Solid fuels leave some ash or residue after combustion. They need large space for storage. Wood, charcoal, cow dung, agricultural waste, and coal are the example of solid fuels. Okay, students, you know that solid fuels are the agriculture waste, wood, charcoal, cow dung, and these occupy a large space for storage. After the combustion, these fuels leave some residue or ash. Now come to the next heading, that is liquid fuels. Most of the liquid fuels in use are the hydrocarbons which exist in the liquid phase at room temperature. They do not leave any residue after burning. Kerosene, petrol, and diesel are the examples of liquid fuel. We know that liquid fuels do not leave any residue or ash after burning. Examples of liquid fuels are kerosene, petrol, diesel. These are made up of mostly hydrocarbons. Next heading is gaseous fuels. Gaseous fuels. Some of the gaseous fuels exist naturally at room temperature, and some are made by the treatment of coal, biogas, natural gas, and compressed natural gas are some commonly used gaseous fuels. Gaseous fuels also do not leave any residue or ash after burning, and some gaseous fuels occurs naturally at room temperature in the gaseous form, and some are made by taking specific treatment of coal, biogas, natural gas, and compressed natural gas. These are some examples of gaseous fuels. CNG, LPG are the best example of gaseous fuel. Next heading is renewable fuels. These can be used over a long period of time as they get replenished readily. For example, fuels obtained from agricultural waste, forest and animal waste like cow dung. Students, you know that some fuels are renewable after a long period of time. Some fuels can be used as a new. It can be renewable fuels. Some examples of renewable fuels are fuels obtained from agricultural waste and forest, and waste like cow dung are renewable fuels. Next and last heading is non-renewable fuels. These fuels are derived from non-renewable resources such as fossil fuels, that are coal, petroleum and natural gases. We know that fossil fuels are those fuels which remains unused for a long period of time under the ground, and after a long period of time they can be used as coal, petroleum and natural gas, which get exhausted over a period of time. This can be exhausted over a period of time. They cannot be replenished readily as they take millions of years to form. Non-renewable fuels are exhaustible. They can be exhausted and they cannot be readily used because they takes millions of years to form. Next heading is efficiency of fuels. What is the efficiency of fuels? We will understand under this heading. Under this heading, what kind of fuel are most efficient, or what kind of fuel are less efficient, and how we can use the maximum efficiency of the fuels under this heading. Okay students, let us start. Efficiency of fuels. The amount of heat liberated when unit of mass of a fuel is burnt gives us a measure of the efficiency of a fuel. Okay student, how we can measure the efficiency of a fuel? Here the definition is the amount of heat released when a unit mass of a specific fuel is burned gives us a measure of the efficiency of the fuel. In this way we can find the efficiency of the fuel. We refer it as the caloric value of the fuel. The amount of heat energy produced on complete combustion of 1 kg of a fuel is called its calorific value. Okay students, this is the most important line. What is the calorific fuel? How can we measure the efficiency of a fuel? we can measure it by the calorific value of that fuel. What is the calorific value? The amount of heat energy released after complete combustion of 1 kg of that fuel is called its calorific value. The calorific value of a fuel is expressed in a unit called kilojoules per kg. Kilojoules per kg, kJ/kg. This is the common unit used, though the SI unit of calorific value is joule per kilogram. The SI, okay student, the SI unit of calorific value is joule per kilogram. So how much heat energy is produced per unit kilogram of that fuel. Calorific value of some fuels is given in the table. Here the calorific value of some fuels is given. You can see here here the fuel and calorific value of that fuel. Wood 17,000 to 22,000, coal 25,000 to 33,000, coke 34,000, petrol 45,000, kerosene 45,000, diesel 45,000, methane 55,000, CNG 50,000, LPG 55,000, biogas 35 to 40,000, hydrogen 1,50,000, cow dung cake 7,000. This is the calorific value chart of some common fuels. Okay student, now we will study the characteristics of an ideal fuel. What is ideal fuel? The characteristics of an ideal fuel. These are the following characteristics noted down. While selecting an ideal fuel for domestic or industrial purpose, we should keep in mind that the fuel selected must possess the following characteristic properties. First one is the fuel should have high calorific value. Okay, the fuel should have high calorific value. Second one is the fuel should have proper ignition temperature. Third one is the rate of combustion should be balanced and moderate. Fourth one, the content of non-volatile substances should be as low as possible. Fifth, there should be no poisonous or residue by-products on combustion. And last one is the fuel should be easily available in plenty and at a low cost. Okay students, before selecting a fuel for our domestic or industrial use, we should come to know the characteristics of an ideal fuel. The following characteristics should be there in an ideal fuel. We have already discussed. There is the 6 points given about the characteristics of an ideal fuel. Okay, now come to the next heading. What happens when fuels are burnt? What happens when fuels are burnt? Burning of fossil fuel such as coal and oil causes the release of atmospheric pollutants such as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. These gases readily form smoke that pollutes the air. Okay, students, we all know that when a fuel burns, it releases some harmful gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide. And we know that when fossil fuel are burned, such as coal and oils, petrol and diesels, when burned, they release some pollutants such as carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. These gases make smog and pollute the air of the atmosphere. Okay, now come to the next heading. Carbon monoxide. What is carbon monoxide? Its symbol is CO, capital C and capital O. Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a poisonous, colorless, odorless and tasteless gas. It is a common industrial hazard resulting from the incomplete burning of natural gas and any other material containing carbon such as gasoline, kerosene, oil, propane, coal or wood. Carbon monoxide is harmful when breathed in because it displaces oxygen in the blood and deprives the heart, brain and other vital organs of oxygen. Okay, students, now we discuss what is the carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a hazardous gas which released when fuel burns like kerosene, petrol, diesel, propane, coal and wood. This carbon monoxide mixes with the oxygen. When we breathe in, it mixes with the atmospheric air. It mixes with oxygen and harms our vital organs like brain, heart and lungs. Next heading is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless, non-flammable and slightly acidic liquefied gas. Okay, carbon dioxide. What is carbon dioxide? It is a colorless, odorless and it is a non-flammable liquefied gas. Its nature is slightly acidic. Large amount of carbon dioxide is produced by the combustion of fuel. We know that when fuel burns a large amount of carbon dioxide are produced and it mixes with the atmosphere. This gas is responsible for about 87% of global warming. Okay, this is the most important point. Carbon dioxide is responsible for global warming. This can lead to melting of polar ice caps, causing flooding of low-lying coastal land and also cause climate challenge. Next heading is oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. Oxides of sulfur and nitrogen are released into air when fossil fuels such as coal are burned in power plants to produce electricity. Okay students, when we produce electricity,